Hey, buddy. You want to say hello to YouTube? Yeah, are you having an extremely busy day today? I think you are. Say thank you, everybody, for your nice compliments.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk really quickly about variegated thread. I stitched with it for the first time doing Mermaid of Atlantis by Mirabilia. Had never stitched with it before, and I just wanted to chat about it for a second. So the variegated thread in this pattern, it's 3 of the Karen water lilies, which are amazing, beautiful quality silk. Like, it's true that once you stitch with silk, regular floss feels like twine. Like, it feels amazing to stitch with. But so these are all variegated. There is this beautiful like turquoisey blue one, and then 2 kind of deeper neutral ones. Well, unexpectedly, they kind of stressed me out. Maybe it's because I'm a type A person, but I found that it made me think a lot more about how I was stitching a particular area because the color is changing. You have to kind of anticipate that and then think about what you want the color change to look like. I don't know if everybody does this. Maybe it's just me and my like weird neurotic aspect of my personality. That's why I thought I would make this video. I want to know what you guys think about it. So I didn't have much trouble at all with this variegated thread. This is in her tail here, like down in this area. And because I was stitching in like one solid block, just stitch by stitch, I think it looks fine, and I wasn't really worried about it when I was doing it. But the darker variegated threads, there's one that makes up the column here. That is this like reddish brown one. And then there's one for the greenery, which is this one, which doesn't look green, and I'm going to explain that in a second. So I didn't start to have a problem, I say loosely, it was really fine, but until I got into this column area, the only thing I had stitched before that was variegated was over here and this little vertical piece, and vertical was fine because you're just stitching one by one going down, but this like horizontal chunk I stitched one way and I didn't like how the colors looked, and I pulled it out and I stitched it again with the thread flipped around so like it started on the different color. I guess I just didn't anticipate having to, or I don't know if other people do this, stitching vertically, like going up and down as opposed to going to the side. Yeah, I don't know, I think I was just being really particular about it, but it ended up being kind of a frustrating amount of work. But I think I know now how I like my variegated thread to look, and now I would know that stitching up to down may be more helpful than stitching side to side. I don't know if any of that made sense, but I hope it did. The last thing I wanted to mention was that greenery. So this is the variegated thread that was meant for that. It goes from green to red, and I hated this color. This is all red because I snipped out all of the green parts and just stitched what was meant to be stitched with that. I just felt like the transition from the green to red was really harsh on this. Like it didn't happen gradually, it happened immediately, and there was as much red as there was green, and I just found that I did not like it at all when I started stitching it. The first piece I put in with that thread was this little like leaf right here, and it was all red. It was like this blood red color, and I couldn't tell what it was supposed to be, and I didn't like it, but I left it. And then when I was working on this side, I was like, nuts to this. I hate this red. I pulled it out and restitched it with green. The same thread, mind you, the same variegated thread, just the green part. And then all of these like leaves, or I guess greenery, are supposed to be using that thread. I just used the green. I don't know, I didn't like it at all. And you can see like I kept a little bit of the red transition. I'm fine with that, I think that looks great. I think I just wanted more green, and I was shocked at like how much red was in the thread, and it would be red for so long, and it just wasn't a look that I wanted. So on the whole pattern, everything that was meant to use that thread is green. Like all of this bit coming out of her like hair, I just used the green part. The like greenery, green, I think that was it. Oh, over here, green. So I probably just could have used a green floss and it would have saved me a lot of trouble. But I do like the variegation. I just wasn't happy with the color change and the other color. So anyways, let me know if you guys think that is weird. I ended up having to think a lot more about my stitching than I anticipated using the variegated thread, and it kind of stressed me out. I mean, I'm happy with the finished product. I'm happy that I decided to rip out what I decided to rip out and do it again. But even like this border is all variegated. It's variegated very subtly though, and I think that's what I like about it. But up at the top here, I just stitched this a couple of hours ago. Up by the fish here, it gets really bright red, and I just didn't like it. I'm leaving it because it looks fine, and that is just me being overly picky. But I don't know. I think it's gonna require a little bit of time for me to kind of go with the flow as far as variegated thread goes. Like, I love the effect. I like the gradual color change, but I think the really drastic color change that I encountered in this, is too much for me. So I decided to tweak it a little bit. Let me know if you guys have had a similar experience, if you remember the first time you stitched with variegated thread and you were kind of stumped by it, like I was. I would love to hear about it because it ended up being not very fun. But I think that, as I said, I think that mostly had to do with me being overly picky and not being used to any kind of like gradual color change in my thread. But on the whole, I love the silk. Silk is amazing. And I love the idea of variegated thread. I think I just probably prefer a subtler variegation or a more gradual one than what I encountered in this pattern. But it was a really cool learning experience. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.